Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another segment of Unleashing the World of Music and Poetry. My name is Tammy Bowers, and I am your host for tonight's show. So it's all about meet the host, which is me. I've had several viewers reach out with questions about me and my past and how I got started in the music business and writing poetry. So you're going to get to hear everything about me. So what I have done is I have taken your questions and I have them right here, and I'm going to answer as many as I can. We will do this again in the future so I can follow up with the other questions. But thank you all for supporting my page. If you like what you're seeing, if you'll hit that little red subscribe button in the right hand side of the corner and stay tuned each and every week. We've got some great people coming up for some amazing interviews. Very excited about that, what this year will be holding. So let's get started with your questions. First question: who was your greatest influencer growing up? Okay, so I would have to say, honestly, it was both my parents. You could come into my home anytime and hear either the jazz playing or blues or the 1950s or modern day country or gospel playing on the radio. My mother and father was several years apart, so that played a big influence on my passion for music and where I get my inspiration from. But my parents were my greatest influence. My mother and father, they sang both like angels. My mother took us to church every Sunday, and we sang in church growing up. Me and my sisters did, and my brothers too. So, music was an ordinary part of my everyday life, and I absolutely loved it. It always got you in a good mood, and it depends on what kind of day it was or what day it was, really. So Saturday evening, there was always 1950s playing, or Daddy would play some blues. He loved Marty Robbins. He loved um, Linda Ronstadt. He loved one of his favorites of all times was Roy Orbison. He really liked him a lot. Sunday mornings, like I said, you'd wake up and there was gospel playing always until 12 o'clock, and we'd come home from church, and Daddy would always cook Sunday dinner for us, and we'd always listen to the countdown, the country countdown at 12 o'clock. So that's a great question. All right, number 2. Where at in East Tennessee are you located? Okay, does my voice give it away? So I am located about an hour and a half from Dollywood, Pigeon Forge. I live in eastern Tennessee in the Great Smoky Mountain area. I'm very blessed with the hills of Tennessee to be able to go hiking and fishing and being able to get out and enjoy the beautiful weather that we have during the summertime. So I live in East Tennessee. So thank you that's a great question. Question number 3. Who did you listen to growing up? Okay, well, I am one of those people that listen to everything. So just like my parents, I guess that's where I got that from. I'm always listening to either rock or country or gospel or contemporary Christian, or I love the oldies as always. I love classical music. I love Beethoven and Chopin. So I'm very influenced with every genre. I mean, you can see me going to a gospel concert one weekend, and the next weekend I'm going to a heavy metal concert. I love it all. I think music is just the outlet that we have available to us to be able to express ourselves, and I appreciate all types of music. Question number 4. Do you have brothers and sisters? Oh, yes, I do. There were 6 of us at the house growing up, and I have 2 half brothers as well. 4 boys, 4 girls total. 2 of my brothers, though, have passed on. The rest are happy and healthy. Okay, question number 5. Who is the most famous person you have met? Uh, I've met several throughout my life and career, but I posted a picture in the beginning of the show with Mr. Kid Rock. That was so much fun. I was invited to his private album release party, and I got to meet him, and country singer Lori Morgan was there as well, and I sat right beside her, and I was like, is this really happening? Is this Lori Morgan? I loved her growing up. I loved her songs and her music. But in walked Kid Rock, and I was like, this can't be happening. I'm actually here. And I had to pinch myself several times because of it. Uh, but he held his private album release party at the Fontanelle Mansion in Nashville, Tennessee. It was fantastic. There were several people in the music industry there. So it was just a very memorable night. All right, question number 6. Were you in choir growing up in school? Yes, I was. I was in choral class in elementary and high school. I loved every bit of it. I loved the aspect of choral class with, breaking down music and learning the parts and just hearing the choir come together. It was fantastic. And I even was able to get and sing a few solos myself. So loved every bit of it. The most memorable solo that I had was when I sang Somewhere Out There in 6th grade. I got to sing the Linda Ronstadt part, and I absolutely loved that. That was so much fun. So, okay, next question. What was your childhood like growing up? Oh, goodness. I had a blast growing up. I can't complain at all. Um, there was always somebody to play with because there were so many of us. But we also lived in a great neighborhood. There was kids on both streets in between us, and so everybody would always come over. We'd play hide and go seek in the dark. We'd ride our bikes. We'd skate in the driveway. During the summertime, we had a swimming pool, and so all the kids would come over and go swimming. My father and mother both were exceptional cooks. My father was always cooking. Like I said, he made Sunday dinner every Sunday. But my mother, boy, she could cook. She made the best fried chicken, potato salad. I still can't make her potato salad. Nobody can, or her deviled eggs, except my niece Keegan. She can make it. She's fantastic at that. But yeah, I got off track. Sorry about that. But just thinking about the holidays, we always had a huge holiday, just like what you would see on TV. We were the American family. It was fantastic. Um, we we were blessed. We were. Halloween's, everybody got dressed up and walked up down the street and got candy from everyone. My brothers and sisters, my older brothers and sisters, they would come home with bags. I'm talking trash bags of candy filled to the rim. Mom and Dad would let them go on and walk on the other streets and get candy. And I remember I'd go through their candy. I'd sneak in the separate room and get some candy. I'm a chocolate girl. So, yeah, I'm telling on myself. But, yeah, we had a great time. I mean, there was always music going, food, you know, being cooked. It was fantastic. I can't complain. Okay, next question. Where have you sung? Oh, goodness. So that's going to take some time to answer. I've sung at many venues, clubs, bars, throughout my career. I sang at the Grand Ole Opry. I've sung in many churches. I've sung at weddings. I've sung at funerals. I've sung at baby showers, at engagement parties, you name it. Anywhere that I could sing, I try to be a part of and try to let my voice be heard. So I hope that answers your question. Too many places. I've been very blessed. All right, next question. When did you start writing poetry? Okay, So I actually started writing poetry the same time I started writing songs. I kind of feel that they're intertwined to each other. And I was about 10, 11. I remember actually getting on the phone with my best friend at the time, and we actually wrote a song together. He was very musically inclined as well. He loved to sing and he could play the piano. He was fantastic. And he was a friend from school. And so I was always trying to put my emotions and what I was going through uh, throughout my life down on paper. It was the easiest way for me to express myself. So that's when I started writing poetry. Okay, next question. Will you sing for us? Of course I will. And the song I'm going to sing is a song that I actually alluded to during my segment with Junior Padilla. It's called Make Me a Servant. I love this song. It has kind of been my life's vision just because of what it says. So here is Make Me a Servant. Make me a servant, humble and meek. Lord, let me lift up those who are weak, and may the prayers of my heart always be, make me a servant, make me a servant, make me a servant today. Make me a servant so humble and meek. Lord, let me lift up those who are weak, and may the prayers of my heart always be, make me a servant, make me a servant, make me a servant today. All right, last question. What do you have in store for 2021? Okay, so of course I'm going to be doing my show, which I absolutely love. I love this. I love being able to give back to musicians and poets that have been affected by COVID or just not being able to get their music in front of a larger audience. So I'm going to definitely continue that. I've got, of course, a lot of adventures coming up. One is I'm going to be doing another YouTube segment. I'll get that out in just a minute. That's going to be covering the outdoors, and it's going to involve some cooking because I absolutely love to cook. I got that from my parents growing up, of course. A lot more exploring in the kitchen. I've always loved to bake and cook. It's always just, been a part of me, just like music. So I want to really get a little bit more into that, as well as I've got some traveling this year coming up, not only for work, but for personal as well. I'm going to be putting together some more music, and hopefully my goal is to do a Christmas album this year. And I'm going to be working with Junior Padilla on that. So I can't wait to get that rolling. I love Christmas. It's just my favorite time of the year. It really is. I think every day should be Christmas because, yeah, I love the thought of giving. But me and my sweetheart, we've got a lot of plans going out camping and hiking, and which I love the outdoors. So I got that in store. And just, you know, spending time with family and spending time doing what I love, which is this, and sharing my world with you guys. So I'm going to end tonight's segment with a poem that I wrote for my late mother who passed away several years ago. My mother, she was amazing. I don't know how she did it. She raised us and then turned around and raised 5 more grandkids. My mother was such a beautiful soul. And I remember growing up, I would go into her bedroom and I would put her lipstick on and walk around the house in her high heels. I wanted to be just like my mother. My mother always wore nice clothes. She always made sure she had her hair done. So as I got older, I would kind of replicate what she wore and how she would do her makeup and do her hair. She was just wonderful. Um, I remember every Saturday night she would roll our hair and we would sit and watch the Barbara Mandrell show and we watched Hee Haw. And she loved watching Designing Women. She loved that. And she loved um, Touched by an Angel. That was one of her favorite shows as well. And, she would always make it every holiday special. Uh, I remember Christmas one year. I wanted a Cabbage Patch doll, and I remember that was the year that Cabbage Patch dolls were like nowhere to be found. And I do not know where my mother got mine. I don't know what she did to get that doll, but she got me a doll for Christmas that year. And in the picture, in the beginning of the show, you can see me with holding my doll. I'm over there in the corner with the red curly hair. She wanted me to, I guess, to look like Shirley Temple. I don't know. I wasn't a big fan of that hairdo. Not at all. But my mother was a spectacular lady. I remember one year that we had a horrible storm. It snowed really bad during the winter times growing up. We would have 6 feet of snow. I mean, it was crazy, the snow that we got. And she walked from our house to the grocery store. There was a local, just a small convenience store uh, down the road, and it was probably a good mile. And you know, she walked to the grocery store just to get us milk and bread and to get us, just the essentials that we needed. She did that, and I'll never forget that. I'll never forget, her taking us to church every Sunday morning and Sunday night and Wednesday nights and supporting us and everything that she did throughout our lives. She was she was wonderful. She took care of Daddy when he was sick, and she was sick too at the time. So my mother was a fantastic woman, and I know that she's singing in the choir in heaven right now, or chasing my daddy around with a frying pan, fussing at him. Mm. But my mother and father, just to kind of allude, they were married for 38 years before he passed away, and they loved each other. They really loved each other. So I was blessed to see that kind of love. And Mother's Day every year, I get to celebrate my birthday with her. Um, I was born around Mother's Day, and my mama told me that I was her Mother's Day present. She used to call me her songbird, and I even got a card that I found about 3 months ago. I was going through my old stuff, and there was a card from her telling me that I was her little songbird. So this poem is for you, Mama. It's called The Vessel. When someone creates an impact so immensely it leaves an eternal scar, and the world stops for just a moment, for it cannot breathe, cause an entity so strong has moved on to another place. For this world she never truly belonged. Just for a brief moment in time was all that she needed to create a sound so loud that changed the lives of all. Her life walk embraced and enveloped the faith of God. imparting into us a hunger of revelation with every impression and every song. Her voice was without fear, her love without restraint, seeking to always soothe those in pain. We obtain what she has genuinely given from her unseemly sacrifice of servanthood, which allowed us to become so much more than we ever imagined that we could. This world has truly lost a beautiful vessel that with every drink filled the souls of all. I hope you enjoyed tonight's segment. We will do this again, I promise, and answer more of your questions. So, as always, smile, stay positive, stay true, be you, and stay safe. Good night, everyone.